If she likes you, she's chasing you, and you have the frame, you have a lot of leeway for how to handle it. If she is already, if you're really like on the border of even keeping her hooked, or like she's the one, you're dancing to her tune all night, then it's going to be much harder to pass. Right? So there are these specific answers to age, but the biggest answer to age is have really good game. So that when she's bringing it up from the wrong, like from a perspective of genuinely caring too much, genuinely chasing you, and where you can frame it and be like again, when she brought it up, I'm like, yeah, you're, at least just don't be young and ditzy, and I guess I can tolerate your age. When they're asking your age, it should be, I mean, unless if it comes up on like the first sentence, like that's not your fault really, and you deal with it like in a bullshit way, because everything's bullshit in the first couple sentences. But if it doesn't come up in the first couple of sentences, if and when it comes up, it should come up as genuine curiosity about like, I'm trying to get to know this person, not about what's your age because I think it's bad. Does that make sense? So you already want the frame to be from a certain perspective about it. So this happened in San Francisco last weekend or a weekend and a half ago or something like that. So I was talking to a girl, and it was a 3-set. The girl I was talking to was fine. Her friend was just like not happy to be being talked to. To be fair, one of the students went in before me and was doing a totally awful job. I came in and like saved the set, but it was partially saved, and the third girl was still not having it yet. And so she actually she gave me like a hard age shit test, right? And she goes, "Hey, excuse me, I think you're older than my mom," right? And I was like, that's a pretty hard shit test. I was like, I don't know, maybe. How old's your mom? Right? And then she actually said not older. She said, I think you're as old as my mom, which was actually better. She said, I think you're as old as my mom. And I said, I don't know, how old's your mom? And she told me the answer. I said, nope, I'm not the same age as your mom. Anyway, and then I just kept talking. And then she's like, and then her friend's like, no, he's cool, whatever. And then like talked her down, right? But it was a matter of like being like flippant and not caring in the answer, more so than having a right answer. Like I didn't even tell her my name, and I didn't say no, I'm young, or I didn't like fit into the logical box. But it was the fact that she gave me the shit, and I'm like, I don't know, is she? Nope, that's not my age. Anyway, okay, so it's more that. It's more the fact that you don't care, you're holding the frame, you're the cooler person in the interaction, and where if she keeps bringing it up, she's the one being obnoxious about it, right? She's like, she asks you, oh my God, you're obsessed. I'll tell you what, like, we'll get there, right? All your questions will be answered in due time. You can put them in a hat, I'll draw them out. What?
Can you turn around being like, well, the only reason it's because you want to get married, and, I mean, not married, but like something.
So that frame works, that delivery does not work.
Oh, well, okay, I wouldn't say it like that, but yeah.
But the point I'm making, though, is that the delivery matters at least as much as the frame.
Okay. To be like, wow, I can't believe you just asked me, is it, well, I'm not going to be your boyfriend, like, chill.
Say that same thing, but without sounding reactive and having a chip on your shoulder.
Okay, so I need to work on that.
Yeah.
All right.
The delivery sounds very defensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Whoa, easy.
All right. Yeah.
No boyfriends and girlfriends here, okay?
Okay.
We're not going there.
All right.
Deal? Do you agree? If you don't agree, I'm leaving.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I've turned around. A girl's first response looks me up and down and says, "You're too short for me. That's a deal breaker. Goodbye."
How'd you respond to that?
I said, I don't know exactly what is a deal breaker for, but I'm flattered you're thinking so far ahead. I have to go in a minute, but yeah. And that one was tough. Like she barely tolerated, barely let me talk to her. It was the end of the night, and there was no other hot girls out at that point. Barely tolerated me, barely let me talk to her, but like didn't fully say fuck off. Yeah. Just kind of like was like mildly annoyed. And then finally, sort of, she was getting food, or she said, she was like, I think it's an excuse she said, I'm just trying to get food. I'm like, oh, there's this place over here we can go. I think it's the only place open. And so I like led her to get food, and now she like couldn't not go because she didn't know where, and I was suggesting a place. Then we got to that place, and she sort of mildly tolerated me. And then some other guy came in, and like who knew her, and it was like tall, good-looking guy. So they talked, and he like took her number, and like just right in front of me. I'm like, well, that sucks. But then he left because he didn't know pulling's a thing. And then I kept talking to her. She got her food. She's like, okay, I'm going home now. And I said, oh yeah, me too. Which way are you going? And I like acted like I was going the same direction as her for something. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll hop in and share a taxi with you. So I got in the taxi, like, fine, whatever if you want to. It's stupid, but sure. She's like, let me get in. We talk, and then drove her out to where she was. She gets out of the taxi. I got out, and then I paid the fare, either quickly or I think in cash. Hopefully, if I had it, that would have been the smart way. But either way, quickly. And then I hopped out and closed the door, and then the taxi drove off. And she's like, why are you here? I was like, oh, I was just gonna walk you up, but the taxi drove off. All right, well, I'm gonna have to get in.
Yeah, nice.
I'm gonna have to get an Uber or something, I think. But I may need to charge my phone. Can I just charge? Right? And she's like, all right, whatever. So she's like, she's like, just get it, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I said, okay, came in, I was like, can you use your restroom? Went in the bathroom, and I fully thought when I walked out of the bathroom, she was gonna just kick me out. Like, I thought like she's like done with me, right? But I went in the bathroom, I'm sitting there, I go and I actually went to the bathroom to make it plausible because I had to splash some water on my face, think about what I'm gonna do next. And then I walk out expecting a barrage of get the fuck out. I walk out and she's changed into her pajamas. And I was like, okay, this is not bad. And so then when I saw that, I just like kind of mentioned something in her room and like, oh, this is really interesting. Tell me about it. And she's like, nope, time for bed, right? Gotta go, time for bed. And it's like, okay. And then she like literally walks over to her bed and like lies down on the bed and like facing inward. Like as in like, whatever. She didn't like, but I hadn't left yet, right? She just laid down on the bed. And so I'm sitting here like, well, if I leave, it's over.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, okay, what's a bold move that might work, right? So I walked over and I like gave her a little like tap on like the back butt area, like right here, like tap. I said, scoot over. And she goes, pauses, thinks, and goes, no. And then I'm sitting there like, okay. And so like another like 5 seconds later, she goes, that's your side. Like she said that it's a deal breaker on the open. That one, yeah, fine. But other than that, like she never actually said, fuck off, go away. She didn't like, when I got in the taxi, she's not like, no, you can't, right? There was no hard stop on anything at any point, right? It was a lot of like dismissal, but there wasn't any like actual firm no. First thing I did is I acted, so I gave her my real age, but then I acted like I was kidding about it.
Yeah.
But then I've given her my real age, so if she ever comes back to it, etc. And then I gave her a bunch of shit about being young without actually telling her my age. And then later on, when we venture changed to a next place, and so she was asking about the age. So when I gave the ID to the bouncer, she tried to grab the ID out of my hand. I'm like, no stalking, etc. And then she was pretty adamant about it. It was like, okay, listen, I'll show you like my name, like my first name, and I will show you my date of birth. But the rest of my ID you're not allowed to look at because I don't want stalkers. She's like, fine. So I showed her like Todd, and I showed her my date of birth. I'm like, see, I didn't lie to you. I would never lie to you, right? But it was handled playfully, right? In that case, but that's just one case. Other cases, I might like, how old do you think I am, and then give her shit about guessing well, guessing badly, or sometimes I might be like, yeah, you're close, and then like half an hour later, be like, by the way, you know I was joking about that, right? And then tell her for real. There's a lot of different ways to play it, depending how big of a deal you think it will be to her. In the end of the day, though, all of them come down fundamentally. There's all these clever ways to do it, but all of them fundamentally come down to: are you leading? Do you have the frame control?